In today's video, we're talking about essential tools to thrive in 2025. Having the right tools can boost your productivity and your earning potential in 2025. So let's dive in. So for the purpose of this video, I had this divided into 4 categories just so that it can be easy to understand. So the first category is communication and collaboration. The tools under these categories are quite intertwined and are absolutely fundamental for VAs in 2025. I mean, as a virtual assistant, you need to stay connected with your client, you need to collaborate with the teams or even your client if you're just working with one person. So some of the tools in this category are email management tools. Now here we are talking about your Gmail, we're talking about your Microsoft Outlook email and all the other private email that exists out there. You need to familiarize yourself with this because chances are when you start working with a client, they are going to assign to you an email. They would have, even if it's not an email that bears your name, they usually assign to you an email that you're going to look over and communicate to them when something drops in. Sometimes it might be Google Mail, like the paid version of Google Mail. Some other times they are private emails that they get somewhere else. So, but using Google Mail as your learning platform will actually help you when you get into those private email servers because they are fairly straightforward. Now the second tool I'm going to talk about are tools for instant messaging. Now we are talking about WhatsApp. Very few clients would want you to have conversations about work on WhatsApp. They usually go to do this on Slack or inside Microsoft Teams. So you need to learn how to effectively use these platforms, use the channels in Slack, use Teams, and even connect integrations to the instant messaging apps that you're using. And the next tool I'm going to talk about, which is an absolutely must-have tool, is video conferencing tools. Now, video conferencing tools have been what everybody is using, big companies, small companies, medium companies, even schools, since COVID-19. So tools like Zoom or Google Meet or Teams are the tools that you need to familiarize yourself in because you're possibly going to be in a meeting with the client, with your client's client, and any other with your team. Because these platforms are quite bulky or heavy, they usually require strong internet. So ensure that you have strong internet, especially if you're going to be doing so many virtual meetings with your client. Now, the last that I'm going to call on this category is the project management tools. Now, these tools are dependent on your client. Some clients use, some clients do not use because they found a system somewhere else. So you need to know these tools just in case you find or you meet clients who require you to have this knowledge. So basically, these tools help you in task or project organization, help you track project, help you monitor who is doing what, and helps everyone know where you are in the journey. So tools like Trello, Asana, Monday, and even Notion nowadays are being used as project management tools, even by small teams. So when you get onto this platform, familiarize yourself with task managing, progress tracking, deadlines, and how to set things up for at least for a project. So being proficient in at least one of these tools that I mentioned will help boost your credentials as a VA. So now the second category that I'm going to be talking about is productivity and organization. So basically this category is talking about your ability to manage time and tasks effectively. So number one in this category is calendar and scheduling. I know so many of you already have an idea how to manage someone else's calendar or how to sign up to someone else's or how to be signed up to someone else's calendar. But in cases where you find clients who have this all manually set up, trust me, some people don't even know this. So when you find clients who have this manually set up, having that knowledge of automating this process for them will make things a lot easier for them. So remember in my last video I talked about automation. So instead of having your clients manually reach out to people, talk about having a meeting online and then having to go and put it on the calendar by yourself. It's actually, these are, like I just mentioned, 3 steps right now, at least 3 steps. But having the links, connecting your client's calendar to their calendar would just make things seamless, that all you need to do, if your client wants an appointment with someone, send the link, and all they have to do is to schedule whatever time works for them. Now, note that Calendly is not the only app that exists, just that they are actually very popular, especially because they have a very good free version. So note that there are other tools like Acuity that are out there that you can embed in your website, your client's website, if the client wants it embedded in their website. The next tool that I'm going to mention under this category is note taking and knowledge management. Most times you have meetings with clients and you need to take notes, and it's important that at least we know that there is AI, and so we can allow AI record those meetings. We can also write down whatever it is our clients, or whatever it is we're saying in the meetings, using apps like OneNote or Evernote or even Notion. And the reason why I'm saying Notion here is that it can help you organize and tag every document, every entry you have in one place. Now, the third tool that I'm going to be mentioning here is our time tracking tools. Now, this is very important, especially if you're going to be paid hourly. Sometimes clients are, or because clients are already used to hourly payments abroad, they sometimes feel is the best when working with people on certain projects. So they give you a task and they say, how many hours is it going to last? How many hours is it going to take you to do this project? And you can just say 4 hours. Meanwhile, this project will actually take you 9 hours. Okay. And so, but it's impossible for you to know because you've not done that particular or that specific project before. So, working with a time tracker would help, make everything transparent. So your client basically has access to this time tracker, or you set this time tracker up on your system, you install the app, set it up in your system, and you start your work. You start the time tracker, so that by the time you're done with your work, it says and concludes that you're done with your work, and your client can see there and then and know that you're not lying. It actually took you 9 hours to do this job. Okay, it's very important for people who are paid hourly, so that you're not underpaid. Okay. And before I and some of the apps that you can use, time tracker apps that you can use, is Clockify or Toggle. So you can try look out for other free apps out there. And the final one I'm going to talk about is password management. While this seems like it's not important, it's actually very important, especially if you're working with clients who give you access to a whole lot of accounts. They need you to track passwords. They need you to keep those passwords secure. And it's important that you understand that security is very important. In fact, do not be the reason why there's a breach in your client system. They are going to automatically let you go, and they're not going to think twice about letting you come back. Okay, so you need to understand that cybersecurity is very, very important as a VA. So instead of writing down this password somewhere and leaving it out, you can have authenticator apps, or like Google passwords, and have them, secure over there, or other password apps that are actually credible, not just any app out there, but apps that are credible. Okay. Now, the third category that I'm going to talk about is the task specific tools. Now, depending on your niche as a VA, you would have tools that you're supposed to be familiar with because that is your niche. For example, a VA that is more inclined towards social media management should know certain tools even more than me. I might just know that, oh, yes, there are certain tools like called Buffer and used for scheduling, but someone who is a social media VA should know everything about Buffer, should know if there is a free plan, if there is a paid plan, if there is a free trial, what you can get with the free plan, right? And how to use it. So basically, there are tools that you should actually know how to use. So as a social media VA, you should know how to use tools like Buffer, as I mentioned later, or some other apps out there. If you're more on the graphics design parts in the VA category, then it means that you should know how to use Canva very well. It means that you know how to use Photoshop, or even Figma. Nowadays, I'm hearing people using Figma for graphics design. So if you're into transcription, then you know that even after transcribing whatever it is into the language, you should have things like Grammarly. Grammarly helps you make sure that all all of your spellings are done right. And so you can also have things like Otter AI, which would help you check for grammar too, grammar spellings and all of that. So what you need to do is identify tools that are very, very necessary, very important for your niche, and then make sure you familiarize with yourself with these tools. Now, the fourth category here is payment and invoicing. Yes, this is very, very important, especially when you get clients that are not through freelancing platform. Abroad, over there, they take receipts or invoices very serious, especially because of tax reason. So I've had clients who request that I send them invoices right before they pay me, especially because I didn't get those clients through Fiverr or through any freelancing platform. And so I have to create an invoice. And if in fact initially I started by just going to Canva and finding a invoice templates and customizing it and sending them. But while that is good, while that is manageable, is there are free invoicing apps out there that you just need to go and sign up on and use their free version, and it actually helps you keep track of payments. You know that this person last paid you so and so time, blah 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 blah. And if you person requests the invoice 10 months later, you just know you can go to the app and download it and send it to them. Okay, this invoicing apps are very, very important. Usually if you're using certain platforms like Fiverr, they can get their receipts from Fiverr. Those are the things that Fiverr helps you do. Okay. As regards payments, from the last time I checked, you will not be able to receive USD via Western Union anymore. So basically, because they are trying to strengthen the naira, the your client can send you, and but your bank would have to give you the naira equivalent, which is not so interesting because I mean the idea is to earn in USD. But if you don't mind, you can continue using that method. But then what I'm saying is that there are other platforms that you can earn that can get you in USD, and I'm talking about Payoneer. Nowadays, PayPal is not for Nigerians, although there are ways around it, and I don't know the ways, but I know that there are ways around receiving through PayPal, right? But it's usually long process and would kind of cost you some transaction fee. So for Payoneer, you just need to sign up on Payoneer and do your verification and connect your account, your Fiverr Upwork account to it, and connect your dollar account to Payoneer, and your money can come in USD. Okay, so I think that it's actually nice to be able to receive payments in USD, especially in this economy. So now you have a rundown of must-have tools in 2025. Remember that you don't need to master everything. You just need to have a basic proficiency of all of them, and most especially an advanced or intermediate proficiency of the tools in your niche. Okay, tools in your niche. You need to know about them very, very well. So tell me, you guys, what are your favorite virtual assistant tools? Share them with me in the comment section. I'm going to be looking forward to see your favorite tools. If you've not liked this video, please like the video and let me know if I'm doing well in the comment section, and subscribe if you've not yet subscribed, and see you in my next video. Bye.